ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence tool which is developed by OpenAI, and I'm thinking that I look like I'm fool. Why I'm thinking that I'm fool? Because you guys already know about this application or already know about OpenAI. But what you don't know, that is how to get perfection in your English language by the help of it. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about this. So are you ready to take up your English to the next level by the help of ChatGPT? And are you scratching your head that how could you use ChatGPT for improving your English? If yes, so watch this video till the very end, because in this video, I'm gonna talk about some aspects of ChatGPT by the help of which you could brush up your communication skills. So watch this video till the very end because it must gonna be helpful. And I just wanna aware to all of you that don't skip it, because if you will skip my video in between and you will don't get to know about any point, so that would be your loss. Okay, so don't skip it. So if you're someone who do not know about the ChatGPT, that what it is, that and how you could use it for improving your English skills or speaking skills, okay, so let me give you a brief explanation about it. Okay, let me give you explanation about it in detail. And now let me tell you that what is ChatGPT. ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence, and the main work of ChatGPT is take our queries as an input and give the answer as an output. Like we would ask any question to ChatGPT. For example, could you tell me about some synonyms of common? So there would be 4 to 5 synonyms which would be related to word that is common. So the question of us, or the question which is asked by us, would be input, and the answer which is given by the ChatGPT, that would be an output. Okay, so input and output. Input would be a kind of question and output would be a answer. So this is what exactly ChatGPT does. ChatGPT just take an output and it gives us answer as an output. So this is what we have to do. We have to just ask about our queries, what are our queries, then we will get answer about whatever we want. Okay, either that could be related to our study, or maybe that could be related to our work. Okay, so it depends on situation that about which we want to answer from the ChatGPT. Okay, so you could use ChatGPT for various purposes. So if you're someone who do not know about the ChatGPT, that what it is, that and how you could use it for improving your English skills or speaking skills, okay, so let me give you a brief explanation about it. Okay, let me give you explanation about it in detail. And now it's an excellent tool for getting every kind of information, whatever you want. It's an excellent tool. Okay, and it's a kind of mesmerizing thing for us, which would attract us to learn more and more. For example, when I just started learning English, so at that time I didn't have a lot of sources for learning. Okay, so after some time, or after 6 or 7 months, I got to know about ChatGPT. Then I started to use it, and now I am able to talk about 1,000 vocabulary words in English while I'm having a conversation with anyone. And how I have learned those words by the help of ChatGPT, because I am using ChatGPT. I used to use ChatGPT when I was just a beginner. Okay, well, that at that time I just started to use it. I didn't know the perfect use of it. But after watching a lot of videos on YouTube, I got to know the real use of this application. For example, I have improved my vocabulary a lot by the help of it. As you can see on the screen that how I used to search words on it. Okay, for example, uh, I just wanna learn some words related to word that is very. So I would ask to ChatGPT, could you give me some synonyms of word very? Okay, then I'll get 6 to 7 words about it. For example, if I don't want to say uh, this is or she is very beautiful, so at that time instead of saying very, I would use she is gorgeous. Instead of saying very beautiful, I would say gorgeous. Or if I don't want to say very again, so at that time I would say it's an extremely hot water. It's an extremely hot water means it is very hot water. Now I'm going to talk about one example. For example, when I do not know about any vocabulary word, or whenever I'm watching any video and in that video there would be any vocabulary word about which I do not know. So at that time I just simply go on to the chat GPT and search about that. If I will not get any kind of right definition about it, so then after that I again asked to chat gpt, could you give me 5 examples of this word or by the use of this word. So there would be 5 examples for me and I will get to know about the clear definition of that word. Okay, so this is what you have to do. Just go on to the chat gpt and search about the word about which you want to know. If you are watching any video or you are reading any book and in which there are a lot of vocabulary words but you do not know about some vocabulary words about from that book, then just that would be a right time to the use of chat gpt. Okay, then try to use chat gpt and learn about those words by the help of examples. As you can see on the screen that how I try to use this application and how I am telling you that you should try to use this application like this. Okay, just try to ask questions as much as you can. Try to ask to chat gpt, then try to learn those things in brief, in detail. After getting the right definition of those words or the right examples of that word, but I'm not satisfied, then I would rewrite or reread those examples. I would read those examples 5 to 6 times for having clear definition or for getting to know about the clear definition of that word. This is what you have to do. If you are not getting the right answer in your mind, if you are not getting to know about that, then read that word or read those examples 5 to 6 times. Then you will get a clear response about that word, or you will give a clear response to your mind about that word. Next thing, what I do is I ask a lot of questions to ChatGPT. And why? Because whenever I think that I'm feeling bored right now, so to kick out that boredom from my mind, I just try to use, or I just like to use ChatGPT. I love to use that, and it's that kind of thing which is loved by across the world. Okay, maximum individuals like to use it for getting to know about a lot of answers, or getting to know about the answers of which would be related to your study, maybe your work, or maybe about cooking, and so many things. Okay, about whatever you want to search, you could just simply go on to the chat gpt and ask question about that. Okay, now the question is, what type of questions I ask to chat gpt whenever I feel bored. So at that time, I just simply asked to ChatGPT, could you tell me about any story that should be interesting and funny for me, and that should be in English. So ChatGPT just give me answer, and that could be funny, and I will learn English as well as I would feel bit refreshed. If I am not satisfied with that interesting story or any poem, So at that time, I like to ask again to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, could you talk about any story which should be funny for me, and that would kick out the boredom from my mind. So at that time, I would get a story that maybe could be funny. Next thing, that the language is used by ChatGPT is very lucid. That is very simple. You could easily understand the answer which are given by the ChatGPT. So if you ask any question to ChatGPT, so that the answer of that question would not be difficult for you for understanding. Why? Because the language which is used by ChatGPT, that is very simple, that is very lucid for you. You could easily understand. So the language which is used by ChatGPT is not that much complicated. But if you are someone who is thinking that the language which is used by ChatGPT is bit complicated for you, so you could simply say to ChatGPT, could you level down the language, or could you level down the vocabulary that you are using is bit complicated for me, so could you level down it? Then you will get easy answers about that question whatever you have asked to that. Okay, so this is how you can ask questions. But if you do not know how to frame questions, then you could easily, or you could simply tap onto the recommended questions and then search those questions and try to learn about those. Okay, then the next thing, you have to know about the sentence formation, or you have to know about the how could you frame questions in English. Okay, you will have to get to know about it. To cut the long story in short, ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence which you could use for brushing up your communication skills, and you will get perfection if you will use it in for your English language. Okay, then now the next and very interesting thing about ChatGPT, that is, if you are making sentences, or if you're asking questions or framing sentences in a wrong way, like you do not know about the right rules of grammars, then at that time you could simply ask to ChatGPT, could you correct this sentence, or could you correct this question? Just what you have to do, you just have to type that in quotation, and ChatGPT will correct that. Okay, this is also like that you are doing self correction. Okay, but at that time ChatGPT would correct your mistakes. Okay, so try to use it because it's gonna be very helpful for you. Then the next thing, if you do not know that how could you ask about any story to ChatGPT, so just what do you have to do? Try to learn about the successes and failures. Just ask any question to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, could you talk about any story that should be related to any successful story about a girl, about a boy? Okay, then you will get a long story in a brief. Then try to read that because that would be in English, and you would improve your English by reading that. So now guys, let me explain it in Hindi bit. Okay, so चैट जीपीटी क्या है? चैट जीपीटी एक आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस टूल है जो कि आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के द्वारा, मतलब ओपन एआई के द्वारा डेवलप्ड किया गया है. ओके, तो आप चैट जीपीटी को कैसे यूज़ कर सकते हो, किस तरीके से यूज़ कर सकते हो अपनी इंग्लिश को परफेक्ट करने के लिए? पहली बात तो ये कि आप चैट जीपीटी को अपनी वोकेबलरी को बिल्ड करने के लिए यूज़ कर सकते हो. कैसे, वो मैंने आपको बताया है कि आपको जस्ट सिंपली वर्ड लिखना है और उसके रिलेटेड जस्ट कहना है कि चैट जीपीटी जस्ट गिव मी 5 सिनोनिम्स ऑफ दिस वर्ड. ओके, देन आप 5 सिनोनिम्स किसी भी वर्ड के रिलेटेड जो भी आपने चैट जीपीटी से पूछा है उसके रिलेटेड आपको सिनोनिम्स ईजिली मिल जाएंगे. देन अगर आपको नहीं पता कि उन सिनोनिम्स को कैसे यूज़ करना है, वर्ड में किस सिचुएशन में यूज़ करना है, क्योंकि सिनोनिम्स भी अलग अलग सिचुएशंस में यूज़ किए जाते हैं. ऐसा नहीं है कि हम हर एक सिनोनिम हर एक सेंटेंस में यूज़ कर सकते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है. अलग अलग तरीके से यूज़ किए जाते हैं सिनोनिम्स भी. जैसे कि मैंने वेरी की एग्जांपल दी थी, वेरी की जगह हम एक्सट्रीमली यूज़ कर सकते हैं. एक्सट्रीमली वर्ड है जो, तो ऐसे करके आपको वो एग्जाम्पल्स भी देगा अगर आप उन वर्ड्स को ब्रीफ में लर्न करना चाहते हो। ओके, आप सिंपली चैट जीपीटी को क्वेश्चन आस्क कीजिए कि मुझे इसके रिलेटेड एग्जाम्पल्स चाहिए, तो आपको उसके रिलेटेड एग्जाम्पल्स मिल जाएंगी। ओके, देन इफ़ यू आर नॉट सेटिस्फाइड, अगर आप सेटिस्फाइड नहीं हैं उन एग्जाम्पल्स से, तो इन एग्जाम्पल्स को दोबारा रीड करने की कोशिश कीजिए। अगर आपको दोबारा रीड करने के बाद भी नहीं समझ आया, देन अगेन चैट जीपीटी से क्वेश्चन आस्क कीजिए कि मुझे इस एग्जाम्पल को भी एक्सप्लेन करके बताओ ब्रीफ में। ओके, तो आपको ब्रीफली सिंपल लैंग्वेज में उस एग्जाम्पल को समझाया जाएगा चैट जीपीटी में। ओके, दिस इज़ हाउ यू कुड यूज़ चैट जीपीटी। ओके, देन एक इंटरेस्टिंग फैक्ट मैंने बताया था चैट जीपीटी का कि अगर आप कोई क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं चैट जीपीटी से बट आपको नहीं पता कि क्वेश्चन को अच्छे से फ्रेम कैसे करना है, तो उस वक्त भी आपको चैट जीपीटी की मदद मिल सकती है। वो कैसे? आप चैट जीपीटी को सिंपली कहिए कि मेरे सेंटेंस को, मेरे इस क्वेश्चन को ठीक कर दो, इंग्लिश में कहना है, तो तब चैट जीपीटी आपके क्वेश्चन को ठीक कर देगा। पर आपको करना क्या है, उस क्वेश्चन को कोटेशन में डालकर चैट जीपीटी को आस्क करना है कि कुड यू करेक्ट दिस सेंटेंस। ओके, पहले अपना जो भी क्वेश्चन है उसको कोटेशन में लिख दीजिए, देन उसको आगे लिख दीजिए कि कुड यू करेक्ट दिस सेंटेंस। तो चैट जीपीटी उस सेंटेंस को सही तरीके में, वर्ड्स को कहाँ पर आना है सही तरीके में लिख के बता देगा, करेक्ट रूल के, ग्रामर से, है ना। ग्रामर का जो भी रूल उस सेंटेंस में यूज़ होगा तो उस तरीके से आपको बताया जाएगा। ओके, मतलब कुछ लोग ऐसे हैं जो सोचते हैं कि चैट जीपीटी में ऐसी लैंग्वेज यूज़ की जाती है इंग्लिश की जो कि बहुत ही एडवांस लेवल की है, हाई लेवल की है, पर ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है। जहाँ तक कि मैंने चैट जीपीटी को यूज़ करा है, मुझे इतनी ज़्यादा डिफ़िकल्ट लैंग्वेज नहीं लगी। अगर आपको फिर भी डिफ़िकल्ट लगती है, अगर आप सेटिस्फाइड नहीं हो उस लैंग्वेज से, आपको वो समझ नहीं आ रही है, कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है आपके लिए, मतलब उसमें कम्प्लेक्स सेंटेंसेस में भी ऐड किए हो सकते हैं, तो आप चैट जीपीटी को सिंपली कह सकते हैं कि कुड यू लेवल डाउन दिस वोकैबुलरी और लेवल डाउन दिस एक्सप्लेनेशन, मतलब इस एक्सप्लेनेशन को थोड़ा ईजीली मुझे समझाइए। देन आप ईजीली एक्सप्लेनेशन को उसको गेट कर लोगे। अगेन मतलब आपको क्वेश्चन आस्क करना है। एंड द नेक्स्ट थिंग, मतलब अगला पॉइंट हमारा क्या है कि हमें अगर बोर फील हो रहा है तो तब हम क्या कर सकते हैं, चैट जीपीटी से कह सकते हैं कि कोई फ़नी पोएम मुझे लिख कर दे दो जो कि फ़नी हो मेरे लिए और मैं इंग्लिश भी सीख सकूँ। तो वैसी ही पोएम आपके सामने होगी जब आप उसको क्वेश्चन आस्क करोगे। और अगर आपको कोई स्टोरी रीड करनी है इंग्लिश में, चाहे वो सक्सेस के रिलेटेड है, कोई फेलियर के रिलेटेड है, जैसे कि बहुत सारी स्टोरीज़ हैं इंग्लिश में, पर आपको समझ नहीं आ रहा कि कौन सी स्टोरी रीड करनी है, तो तब आप चैट जीपीटी पर ईजिली आ सकते हो, चैट जीपीटी को आस्क कर सकते हो और उस पर कोई भी स्टोरी पढ़ सकते हो। मे बी वो फ्रेंड्स के रिलेटेड हो सकती है, कोई फैमिली के रिगार्डिंग हो सकती है, कोई फैमिली इशू के रिगार्डिंग हो सकती है, मतलब आप जिस टाइप की आपको स्टोरी रीड करनी है उस टाइप की स्टोरी के बारे में आप चैट जीपीटी को पूछ सकते हो। So guys, that's all for today, and if you liked my video then please like it and subscribe my channel and share it as much as you can. Thank you.